quiz on, we're going to do it Thursday. You will need to be able to, let me just show you. So you need to be able to fill in your premise for each premise, okay? And the conclusion. You need to be able to fill in the reasons for each statement, okay? So that means you're going to need pages, you guys it's open notes, right? So you're going to have to know for page, what is it, 20 and 30, 20, 28, and 34, okay? So make sure you know where those pages are at, because those will help you get your reasons, okay? Questions on that part of our quiz for Thursday? Yes?
You said that you were going to give us the statement part of it?
Yep.
And then we just have to fill out the reasons?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they all in the same order? So like it's always first.
Say that again?
So like are they always like in the same order? So like number 4 is always like conjunction of 2 and 3?
No.
But
No. You guys, this is something I tried to talk to you yesterday about. Okay? You can't memorize a proof. Okay? Unless it's the same proof. Okay? You guys are not getting one of these questions. You're getting one similar. That there's, you can't just go, it's like a puzzle. You're going to do a puzzle different than he'll do a puzzle. Okay? You guys are going to do a puzzle different than I would. You need to make an argument. This is an argument. Okay? You say, these are my statements, these are what I'm given. Well, my first argument is if I have a conditional statement of E and D as a conjunction with not D, I can put that together because that's a conjunction of 2 and 3, and that comes from page 34. And with this conjunction, by rule of modus tollens, I can say, well, that's not E. So you have to make an argument to try to get to your conclusion. In this case, our conclusion is O. Right? So we got down to the bottom, we said, hey, our conclusion was O. You've manipulated the original premise, all the premises. You have to combine all the premises at one point. Look, these two premises, they're combined, right? And they get you this. So we use this later, this not E, right here, with our other premise of O or E as a conjunction with not E. And we use that statement to make another statement, and eventually you want to get the statement after using all your premises to get a conclusion. Okay, we went through 3 examples yesterday. You need to go home and study and read it and try to come up with some questions. Okay, we're going to now look at the truth table version of this, which is not new for us. So on example 23, we need to check the validity of the following argument. Well, if we're checking validity of the argument, that means the argument as a conditional statement is going to be a tautology. So, here's our argument. If the sun has set, that's S, then the street lamps are on, O. Either the electrical circuits are working or the street lamps are not on. The electrical circuits are not working, therefore the sun has set. So, you need to write the symbolic form, okay, to help us check validity. And then once you get the symbolic form, we're now going to put it in a truth table. So we're trying to prove the argument is valid using the method above will prove to be futile. So don't use the symbolic form other than finding the symbols so we can put it in the truth table. We don't want to do this by making a 2-column proof. We want to do this by using a truth table. It seems intuitive that this argument is not valid. Some of you will read that and be like, yeah, that's not a valid argument. That's kind of the problem we had yesterday. Some of you guys are reading the argument and are like, that doesn't make sense. Well, we have to follow a certain set of rules. However, the argument must be shown to be invalid using a definition of validity. So recall that definition 15 stated, if we have hypothesis as a conjunction with conclusion, then it must be a tautology for a valid argument. So we're going to look at this argument and pay close attention here. Okay, this is going to be an example of an invalid argument. Okay, you can't just say it's invalid, you've got to show why. And that's what we were trying, some of you guys were struggling with yesterday. You got to show why, even though it sounds like, okay? If we look here, okay, you've got our premises here, so if S then O, and not O is, you've got to identify not O still, you got to get a truth value for that, okay? E or not O, yeah, that's why you need not O. And then you have if S then O, as a conjunction with E or not O. So you take the first two premises, make a conjunction with them. Okay? Then you take not E, and you're going to take, now this is the part where most of you are going to get confused. There's not stuff written here, right? There's nothing in these brackets. What's in these brackets is this. Okay? So you notice the parentheses. So if S then O goes here. So all they're doing is saying, hey, look, we can't fit all of this in this column. Okay? So when they leave it blank, that means we're taking this, putting it here.
Okay.
Making a conjunction with not E, because our rule says we can make conjunctions. And on page 34, if we have two premises, we can make a conjunction. So we took two premises, made a conjunction. That's now a statement. We're going to take that statement, make a conjunction with the other premises. Or premise. Sorry, with the other premise. And then now, once we have this conjunction, we can say, well, the whole thing, notice how this one's blank. They're taking this whole thing and putting it right here. And saying, well, if the whole argument, the whole hypothesis, this is the hypothesis, is a conditional statement with S, okay, and that conditional statement is all true, then it's a tautology, meaning it's a valid argument. So this is no different than what we did at the end of the week last week. Other than we have a longer argument, longer hypothesis, you have to understand that this means part of the hypothesis with not E, and then the whole hypothesis with as conditional statement with S. So this is the same as last week. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
We all see that? Yes. Yes. We're going to try to get the assignment done in class, so you're done.
So now that we know this, are we okay to use this in our truth table? Is that right?
You're going to have to do a two-column proof. You mean to do the blanks?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. If you have to. Most of the time on the quiz and the test, I'll label the columns. Okay, where it needs to be labeled. That I for sure on my quiz, I give you at least these three to start. Okay, I always give you the first couple. Now, what you guys need to do is you'll have to be able to fill out a truth table. You guys are good at that. We're not going to go over and filling how to fill out a truth table.